Well, I can make out some letters on that, so we'll keep that, but I do think that's tin glazed as well. I just need a bigger bit, slap it to slipware. So just pick that up. Oh, it's a bit tile. A bit more sugar cone mould.
No one on the back. I checked my slot.
Well, first little bit from down here, and if you want to mudlark on the River Thames, you do need a permit from the Port of London authorities, which I have. There's the base of some redware pot there, no markings on it at all. Quite old, but just plain for me. Well, we'll have a look and see if there's anything on here. Well, that looks a bit of willow edging, so I'm going to leave that. I just picked that up thinking I was going to be playing and weren't filming, but there's a little bit of gold on to the side, but I'm not bothered. Oh, spotted a bit of heel, because we're going down with the blue there. Well, I can make out some letters on that, so we'll keep that, but another tiny little bit of blue again. Oh, don't know, that's tin glazed. Looks it. I'll take that little bit. Now there's another little bit of blue there. A tiny little bit there with some blue flower on. Well, it gets washed away. I might keep that little bit. Well, another tiny bit of blue and another bit there, but I'm leaving them. I've got too many little pieces. Well, now that's a big piece. And I do think that's tin glazed as well. So that's one piece we're keeping. Now, I saw green glaze on there. Well, that could be old. But I'm not that up on this oldest pottery. So we'll take it just in case. Oh, another nice bit of blue. Oh, even on the inside. Oh, that's definitely tin glaze, but there's only a little bit on it. So we found that little bit, part of say a dish. Hand painted export ware, I should think. And yes. Well, I've been looking for a good piece of that. I just need a bigger bit. Staffordshire slipware. Yep, that's definitely going in one of the frames. Oh, lots of pipe stems rolling about at the edge. Oh, nothing we're writing on so far. Oh, that's a bit that's just washed out. Literally. I'll just pick that up. Oh, it's a bit tile. Really big conclusions. Can you spot the finds? Oh, nice pretty pieces. Well, that's probably willow. Oh, that looks like part of boat. Or a roof. I don't know. Well, that's it for on here today. And we're going to have a quick look over there. See if there's any of the budgies over there. Oh, big chunk of redware there. Oh. And it's glazed on inside. And a little bit of rollwood decoration. Oh, I might take that. Even though it's a very big piece. The only chunk of bit there with same glaze on inside. Yes, 1800s. Well, we'll have a look, see what we can find on this side. A lot of it might be quiet because there's somebody playing music up top and I don't want a strike. Well, there's a couple of me quackers there and have a bit of feed. Let's see if they'll come up. you want one of the flappy things? Do you want me to take it home? I'll leave them for now. Well, leave them feeding for now. Keep out of my way. Well, keep getting followed by these two. You think they're going to get some more? Well, nothing. A few plain bits, but nothing with colouring. Just these two following me again. I've down that way to go yet. Bit more sugarcane mould to go with that bit I found yesterday. That's good. I wonder if there's any more here. And that's up near the sand line on the beach. Oh, that's a bit of a roof tile and all. Yeah. Bit of a roof tile going off the hole drilled in it, or punched in it. Even though I like the bits with the holes in, I've got too many at the moment. Oh, that's a bit glazed. Plant pot. Bit of treacle type glaze. Oh, keep them two bits. I want to film it before I pick it up. It's just probably a bit of roof tile, something over fired. I thought it might have been a bit more floor tile. Because down here is where I actually found a piece at the back end of last year. Now I don't know whether that's staining or a mark. Well, it's a bit of a mark. Can't make out what it is, but we'll take it. Now that's got some embossing on. And I think that's part of one of them hunter's mugs, jugs, whatever. We'll keep that. There's a couple of lines of looks like all burnt charcoal. Some more there. Here we go. Well, that's just dropped from up there. But we'll get it out at river. Look away if you don't like them. Lots and lots of bones amongst all that charcoal. Lots. And quite a few pigeons as well. Well, base of a old mixing bowl with, I think it's Sunderland slip that's on that. Can't remember which one it is. Sunderland or Stafford. Now this is more like it. Probably late post-medieval redware. Probably a cooking pot. Bit glaze on inside, not all the way to the top, but all the way to the top outside. So, yeah, Take that bit. Now I just picked that up, thought, oh, it's just a bit that stone stuck on it. But I don't know whether that's like a handle going through the stoneware pot. So, well, that's metal on the inside. Right, we'll definitely having that. Oh, another big chunk of sugar cone mould. Got one big chunk, I think I might just leave that. I did pick that up. A bit of cooking pot or something. Very low fired. And not far away, another bit. First bit of proper pot such thing. Probably a bit of a teapot or something. And a tiny bit of blue there. Oh. Well, that's our best one at day. I haven't found much, found plenty of stems, but not much. Can you hear me over them waves there? Oh well, at least we've got a pipe bowl. Or part of one, should I say. Well, lots of tile and redware here. And a couple of them Egyptian geese up there. I don't know whether they'll take some feed off me or not, but we can try. Well, you two, you want a bit of feed? You want some as well? Do you want some? No? Well, you can have that then. Oh, you'll want some, won't you? Well, not had too many finds on there. A couple of bits of that sugar cone, which is nice. But not as much as what I thought of what we've had in the past. But I'll keep looking on way back to Mary. Anybody wants a wheelbarrow? One careful owner. And about half dozen not so careful ones. Well, I've not seen any pipe bowls or such like tumbling in the waves today, which is like how I usually find them. But you never know. Well, I'd best get back to Mary. She'll be wondering where I've got to.
El teatro Shakespeare.
Right, quite a lot of finds on this trip down to the Thames, and first off we'll get rid of the rubbish. Yep, another one of them, lemon and lime. Well, that's the battery out of it, so that's for recycle. And quite a lot of big pieces of redware, but we'll start with some of the little stuff first. And that with green on and a bit of brown there. I don't know whether that's a bit of late medieval, even Tudor, because they used to go for that green, but it couldn't be quite modern. Well, not too modern, but interesting piece. And lots of little pieces of blue and white, bit of hand painted there. That might even be a very late tin glaze. It doesn't seem to splinter off on the edge like the normal tin glaze does. And some little pretty flowers on. And a very pretty little flower on that one. And bits on that side, both sides. And again, bit of hand painted, base of a small saucer, or even base of a small pot. And a bit of transfer print. And a big, well, not a very big chunk of this, but a piece that everybody likes. The Staffordshire combed slipware. Probably base of a big charger dish. I still hope to find a big piece of this. But yeah, nice piece there. And again, lots of blue and white. Not on the other side. That I thought was a bit of willow, but looking at it now, I think that's a bit of a dragon. Just going off the scale bits sticking up there and the fins. I think that's a bit of a dragon one, and not willow, which makes a change. And one tiny little bit on both sides, but the other reason why I kept it, because that looks like top of a tower or a pagoda. It'll focus this close. It could be somewhere to note. And a bit of slipware. Quite, I would say, late 18s, early 1900s, probably a bit of a teapot or something. And this, I still haven't been able to make out what the maker's mark has been on the bottom of that there. And a pipe, well, the heel bit. That's got G, W, and W there, G, so you should be able to date and then get the manufacturer with that, but I don't have a list of them. We'll have to look into that. But I do like collecting the little bits like this that have got the markings on. And chunk of that stone glazed, like hunter's jug. I think they usually have dogs and deer and such like on, and bits of trees, somebody drinking. But a bit of the embossing there. And this, which I think is a bit of a delf, either floor or wall tile. Thickness, it could be a floor. Just going off the blue, because I picked up a book about the delf tiles, and that seems to be quite a common pattern on some of the interior, the middle designs. And I think it is a delf one as opposed to English one because of the clay, from what I've been reading. So you're talking 1500s upwards for something like that. Yeah. And pipe stem, well, pipe bowl should I say, not stem. No markings on the bottom that I can make out, but a big chunk of it missing there. But it is quite an early one. I think late 17s, early 18s, if not older. I haven't got my chart with me. But it was the most complete bowl we found down there on the couple of trips we did. And right, all these big chunks of redware. Again, a bit of sugar cone mould, probably a quite latest one because it's very well fired, and no dark strip in the middle. So yeah, I found quite a lot of this that day, but I only brought this small piece, so I left all the others. And could even be off the same pot. This is what I think is called dipped glaze, where they just like dip it in or pour it into the middle and then pour it out again, because it's not glazed all the way up to the top, but you can see where it's splashed up a bit there. Mid to late 1800s, and again that could be the bottom of it. Found fairly close together, and it does look like the same type of glaze, but and another one, the glaze all worn off there on the outside, still some on the inside, and it's like, I don't know whether that is quite early, especially as you can see it's not been very highly fired to burn the core out. So that could be late medieval, I should think, or just one that was stuck at the side of a kiln that didn't get as much heat on it. The only reason I brought it up was for the core. And this piece, with I spotted the iron on it. I thought it was just the bit that was fused to it, but it looks like it might go all the way through, or into it, should I say. Now, I thought that was on the outside, but looking at it, the curve there, you can see it's on the inside. So, yeah, bit odd that. Very well fired. It could even be just part of a hanging plant pot. One never knows. I like to try and clean a bit more of that corrosion off and see what's under there, see whether it is a loop and that is the back of it, or it's just a bit that's just stuck on. We've got this big chunk glazed again, very similar glaze to that. No. But this is quite late, I would say mid 1800s up, basically because of that rolled design on there. But you can see it stops there and you can see this shape. I think that is where the handle was that's actually not stuck right well and has come off. I bet somebody were really miffed about that. It looks like it's just been like placed on and not been very well fused in. But it's a nice that treacly glaze on it. And having that. And finally this piece. Bit of roof tile, peg hole there. And you can see where they've shoved it in and wobbled it about like that. But what's happened, it's raised the sides out there and they've gone like that, because you can see the imprint of a thumbprint just pressing it back down. And you can just make out, well, I think maybe parts of a fingerprint on it. So yeah, late medieval, post medieval roof tile, just the corner bit there, and somebody's squashed it down like that after they've rooted a big hole in it. So yeah, different. I still want to find one with animal print on, paw print or something like that, or fingerprints, proper fingerprints pressed in. But yeah, so which bits are going to end up in the frames of fame? Well, it's bye from us on the Thames today, and hope you enjoyed what little we found, or how much we found. So it's goodbye from Mary and Stephen.